Hi, my name is Matt Reisinger with Reisinger Homes. Welcome to my video blog dedicated to building science and fine craftsmanship. Behind me here today is a house that my company completed going on 3 years ago. This is a whole house remodel project. This house was originally built in the early 40s and my company completely redid the house. It was a really fun project. When I first remodeled this house, I did not know as much as I do today about dehumidification, and we installed a very good HVAC system in this house. And of course, we used the manual J to size it, but we've had some comfort issues in the spring and the fall with really being able to take out the humidity. The house is built very airtight. It also has a very good insulation package, but it does not have a standalone dehumidifier. We're strictly relying on the air conditioning system for dehumidification. And the humidity in this house today, when I was in here earlier, was in the upper 50s, which can be a little bit uncomfortable or bordering on uncomfortable. This video is being shot in the first part of June. Today's going to get in the early 90s or so in terms of heat, and the humidity today is real high. We're probably close to 80% humidity outside. So with a very high performing house, we really need some dehumidification or supplemental dehumidification. And these clients have been following my blog and talked to me about adding one. That's what we're doing here today. We're adding an Ultra-Aire 90H dehumidifier. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it's going to go up in that attic on the second floor. This house is built on a crawl space, and we have 2 units. There's one in this attic above us here on the first floor, and then we added an addition on the back, and there's a second unit there. This house is about 3,200 square feet, fairly open plan between those 2 units, and we really just need to add one. So my HVAC crew is up in the attic. Let's go have a look and see how that install is going. All right, we're in my favorite part of the house, the attic.
Yes, sir.
This is a conditioned attic space. As you can probably see, we're in a spray foamed attic, so this attic is a couple degrees hotter than the rest of the house, but not much. I saw that thermostat when I walked by was set at 78. It's probably 82 up here, something like that. I'm here with Gilbert Rosapal. Bert, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too, Matt.
I'm sure I've mentioned, and you've seen them in my past videos, but Bert and his company, Airite Design, Airite by Design?
That's Airite by Design.
Sorry, Airite by Design is the correct name. They've done every single house I've ever built in Austin. Great contractor. I love working with Gilbert and his excellent crew.
Well, thank you, man.
So Bert, tell us a little bit about this unit we're installing today.
Well, what we got here is a 90. It's a Thermostor product, Ultra-Aire. They make 4 or 5 different versions. This is about the medium size, so it removes 90 pints of water a day. And that's why we got our drain here. And it's got a filter.
A little tough to see, but the filter's on the side here.
The filter's on the side there. Not sure what that MERV is, but
I think it's a MERV 10 is the standard filter, and then you
Yeah,
can
I
get a
think
much
so.
higher MERV if you want it.
that's right. That's right. So we're tying this into the central duct system. What we've got is a return here that's tied into our return, and we have a backdraft damper in here,
Oh, nice.
so we don't pull air back out of the dehu when the AC's running.
Smart.
And then we did a
What's
fresh
this?
air.
Yeah, that's
fresh
smaller
air,
pipe is
Matt.
the fresh air.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's got a motorized damper here.
So before this fresh air, Bert, was plugged into the return side of the furnace.
That's right.
Now we're plugging it into the dehumidifier.
That's right.
So if we're bringing in some humid air, it's also going to be dehumidified.
That's right. It'll be dried out before it's displaced in the house.
Yeah, that's smart.
And it also will have it hooked to the controller below that we'll show you soon, that we can set up the ventilation time.
The other thing that we like about this system is then the air that goes through this dehumidifier is pumped into the duct system. So there's no new returns, there's no new supply grills downstairs. Everything looks the same as when we arrived today.
That's right.
But it's using the existing ductwork to do its work.
That's right. I don't know if you can see that over there in the front of the machine. That's the discharge side that is tied back into the central duct system to displace the dry air throughout the rooms.
Bert, there's a couple different manufacturers of these, although not that many really. All the houses that we've ever used, we put these Ultra-Aires in. Tell me a little bit about why you like these.
Well, I like them because of the feature of their controller. That'll let you do ventilation time for your fresh air. We can tie in fresh air. I like their filtration device. They got a few sizes. don't they range from
Yeah.
65 to 180?
Yeah, so quite a bit of capacity difference. That'd be 65 pints a day, I believe, is their smallest unit,
Yeah.
up to almost 200 pints a day for their larger units. That's a really nice change of size.
So it gives you a little versatility of how you could place them.
The other thing that I like as a builder too is that they're incredibly efficient. This unit here is using only 6.7 amps to dehumidify.
That's
And
right.
you know, if you think about the reasons why and the times when we want dehumidification, most people out there are using the air conditioner to dehumidify.
Well, that's exactly right.
So on a day when it's maybe 85 degrees out in Austin and 80% relative humidity, our houses, because we're building them so airtight and so well insulated, are not changing temperature a whole lot. And so as a result, most of the time, people need to, in these high performance houses, kick on their AC and bring it down a couple notches in temperature so they can get the dehumidification they want. When in reality, it's not the temperature that's the problem for them, it's the fact that they have a higher elevated relative humidity inside of their house.
And that's true, especially in Austin during the spring, fall. We have sea breezes, so our humidity levels are higher.
Mm-hmm.
And a drier house is going to feel a lot better to you with a higher temperature.
Yeah, so this client is going to probably set this humidistat downstairs at about 45 and forget it, leave it.
That's right.
And so the nice thing is this dehumidifier will be able to turn on when it's needed and not turn on when it's not needed. And they'll be able to keep their thermostat. I noticed that this client likes to keep it at 78. They're going to be able to leave that T-stat at 78 24/7 if that's what they want, and not have to kick that down to 75 or even lower potentially just to kick that humidity out on these humid days like it is today.
That's right.
So ultimately, it's going to play well with our energy efficiency strategy in a high performance house like this.
That's right.
Bert, I appreciate your help. Great install over here today.
You bet, man.
Let's go downstairs and look at that controller real fast.
You bet.
Okay, so we're in the upstairs hallway now. We were just above us a second ago. And actually, this would be kind of a good point to show you the return air. So that's the return air for the furnace upstairs. And that's where our Ultra-Aire upstairs is pulling air from. And then there's another return air in this hallway, and that return air is from the other unit. So it's actually an excellent point to make that this house at about 3,200 square feet, even though it's two zones, one unit is going to be able to work very well in a house like this because the air is going to circulate very well between areas.
That's right. And our dry air will be blowing out of these rooms and the lower floor.
And the lower level, exactly. Once you come on in and we'll show you what the controller looks like. So this controller here, oops, I just changed it. This is the HVAC controller. This is an HAI controller. My client has done a lot of HAI equipment in this house. So this one is just for HVAC. And I'm not sure that this controller has humidity control, but we really wanted the functionality of the Ultra-Aire controller. This controller is very, very nice. Once you zoom in here and you can see what the settings on this are. So currently this controller is showing us that we're at 57% relative humidity and the indoor temperature is 78 degrees. So both controllers are syncing up and giving us a correct temperature reading. Interestingly enough, that the humidity reading on these two is a little bit off. This one's saying that it's 55, this one's saying that it's 57, and a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago, they were a little further apart. Actually, they're coming closer together now. This one's 56, and now it's 57. So here's where we, oops, I turned it off by accident. Here's where the set point comes in. Right now we're set at 47 rather. I'm gonna drop it down to 45% relative humidity and let this run for 24 hours. And we'll see how close we can get that humidity down. But at 90 pints on a 24-hour cycle, I think this unit's going to run real well on this size house.
Pulling a lot of water.
Yeah, it's going to be pulling a lot of water out of the air.
And did you show them the fan cycle, Matt, on the fresh air?
I didn't. You want to show us that too? So it's
here's your vent timer, so you can bring in fresh air. So you set it up, and you can cycle so many minutes an hour of fresh air coming into the house.
That's great.
And so the fan, I suggest we leave it in auto, and the homeowner does all the programming.
Yeah, it can kick on whenever it needs to.
That's it.
Well, Bert, thank you very much. Great install over here. I think this is
Appreciate
really going to make a big difference in comfort for these clients. And
It will.
yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. And if you're building a house of these same standards, what we consider a high-performance house, you really ought to consider an Ultra-Aire dehumidifier. I think the money spent is easily going to be paid back in comfort and certainly in energy use over time. So thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll see you next time.